Golden Tate to the Eagles, Amari Cooper to my Dallas Cowboys. Two of the outstanding trade moves that happened as we head into the trade deadline. Welcome back Between the Lines. I've got the guys with me. And Roy, I know that those wide receivers are going to be impact guys on this weekend, but I think you think it's another wide receiver that's probably most impactful.
Absolutely. Demaryius Thomas, and you combine him with DeAndre Hopkins, and an offense that's been rolling lately. Houston's won 5 games in a row. Lamar Miller has been spectacular the last 2 games, over 100 yards. And that's just going to be able to spread the field and help Deshaun Watson give him more time. That's been the problem. He's got a lot of pressure on him, but with the extra receiver, you don't have to key on one. Demaryius Thomas was a huge upgrade. They had a big-time acquisition on that one. I like him.
Well, I like Demaryius Thomas. It's perfect timing for the Houston Texans, losing Fuller to the ACL. They had another weapon. But I think the biggest acquisition was Fowler from the Jags to the Rams. The Rams, without Talib, people have been carving them up through the air. And now they go out and get a big-time pass rusher in Fowler to put some more pressure on the quarterbacks. And this is a Super Bowl caliber team. To add a pass rusher like that, and then eventually they're going to get Talib back. This is a very dangerous team.
Well, Fowler comes from a very underperforming defensive team, and the reason he was traded because he's underperformed. So I mean, he may add some value to him, but I don't think that was a huge move for them.
You know, he's got a lot of good guys around him, man, and probably the best, player in football in Aaron Donald. And we know what that offense can do. So if they can get pressure on the quarterback and force some turnovers, the Rams are going to be very, very tough to beat with the addition of Fowler.
Yeah, we'll get back to the Rams in just a minute, but let's talk about the Steelers. And, speculation is that L. Bell may not be playing this season. He needs to sign a contract in order to be moved, and that's why he didn't make the trade deadline. What are your thoughts about L. Bell? Is it in the Steelers' best interest to bring him in or to leave him hanging?
Well, I think this is all on Le'Veon Bell. He has, from a business, he's going to report. He has to get there by week 10 or he's not going to get credit for the season. And with that, he won't be able to test free agency. So he's going to show up. But the locker room, that's going to be difficult. To bring Le'Veon into that locker room, they're winning. Connor is playing well. I just don't see him, and it's tough to say. I just don't see him helping this football team this season with all that's going on. Connor has been really good, but Connor's not Le'Veon Bell. This is one of the more dynamic players that we have, that we've ever seen. And so he's going to be able to help any team. But if I'm the Steelers, I just don't think we could throw him in there this season.
I happen to agree with that. And Will mentioned that Connor's not Bell. He's a better running back, obviously. You're not looking for him to catch balls out of the backfield a whole lot. They have that with Schuster Smith and my man, help me out.
Brown.
Antonio Brown, yeah. So they have weapons on the outside. They just need someone to keep the defense honest and keep the blitz off. But like you said, I don't see Le'Veon coming back and helping this team. He needs,
with Connor, they're still a really good football team. But Bell's coming back. A man is coming back. He has to get paid. He has to secure the bag. And the only way he secures the bag if he reports by week 10.
So you look at Connor, obviously almost 600 yards on the ground. He also has 9 touchdowns. And they did a comparison on one of the morning shows, talked a little bit about that comparison. Very favorable should they decide not to bring him back and maybe, give him a taste of his own medicine for holding out on them.
Yeah, and I think it matters that he's also a fan favorite now. He's been there, he's reported. He has a good story about recovering from cancer. Fans love him. And then what kind of effect does that have on the locker room, as Will said?
It's a blue-collar town as well. You got to factor that in.
Definitely, and he's a Pittsburgh, guy. And like we talked about last month on the show, the quarterback, the captain, publicly, stated that we have to get this guy more touches, So sounds like that's his guy,
Yeah, they're definitely, dancing with the date that brought him kind of thing. So it's always a good thing when you do that. Let's talk a little bit about guys who are actually in camp, actually playing in games, but should they be playing in games? And that's Jameis Winston. There's a big, groundswell to play Fitzmagic instead of Jameis, would you shut him down for the season?
I don't know, Charles. I mean, I really don't. But right now, Fitzpatrick deserves to play. Fitzpatrick has been by far the best quarterback. He gives them the best chance to win games right now, and that's where you want to go. I don't know if you saw it last week, but Deshaun Jackson and Jameis Winston has never had good chemistry. And Jackson comes out publicly and requests a trade. With Fitzpatrick starting the season, Jackson was off to one of his best starts in his career. So just different. But while that's going on, the other guys are still eating as well. Evans is still having a great year. O.J. Howard was off to a good start. Godwin, the rookie, was playing well. So that it's clear that Fitzpatrick gives this team the best chance to win. I don't know if you just close the book on Jameson or move him, but right now you have to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, if you're looking for the future, then I think Jameis is the answer. Of course, he has some off-field stuff that got him off to a slow start this year. But if you're looking for your quarterback, Fitzpatrick has proven over his career he's not your long-term answer. So you want to go with Jameis. If he plays his way out of that role, that's fine. But you have to give him the opportunity to play.
Yeah, but the great thing about this league, a lot of times you don't have long-term jobs. So if I'm the head coach, I got to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick right now, because if I don't, me and Ryan both probably out of a job at the end of the year. James is going to be fine.
They have no shot at winning the division anyway. So
Well, let's move on to the games that actually matter, and let's talk a little bit about your best game of the weekend. Some outstanding games lined up this week, Will.
I think my best game right now, it's hard not to go with Rodgers and Brady. Coming up. Just when you say GOAT quarterback, these two names come up right away. This is going to be exciting. Sunday Night Football, and I can't wait.
I'm going with Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I just love the physicality these two teams bring to the field. And the last game, and Pittsburgh's on a mission to get a little revenge. They had a tie game with the Ravens at halftime last game, and they just held the Ravens to field goals the rest of the way, but they weren't able to create any offense. And I see that Pittsburgh's offense is on track now, so I'm going with Pittsburgh.
So you think Pittsburgh beats Baltimore today, though?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I think Baltimore wins today. Let me tell you an interesting stat. Baltimore has only allowed one 300-yard passer. Mm-hmm. All right. Baltimore last two games, they've given up 30 points per game.
Right.
All right. If Baltimore loses this game today, they're 3 games behind Pittsburgh. No way Baltimore loses this game today at home.
And you said it. That is the reason why that Pittsburgh has a great chance of winning, because Baltimore's defensive struggle late, and you just don't fix that overnight. So I'm going with Pittsburgh.
There's a lot of pressure on all those teams. The game I like the most is the Saints hosting the Rams, undefeated Rams. That should be pretty interesting in the Bayou. And from what I understand, the game day folks are going to be there. Lee Corso is actually going to do a helmet pick or headgear pick in that one as well. So
are you serious?
That's the same guy that picked Wisconsin to win a national championship. So
yeah, you picked your.
He's not all the way silly.
No. But coming up, speaking of that, we'll talk a little bit about Alabama's victory, and it was a big one as they took care of the West and LSU, and then of course we'll also talk about the Dogs. But the thing I'm really looking forward to is a big debate between these two. They don't know anything about it, but you need to stay with us to find out more. College debate coming up next.
Oh,